Hi, I'm Sophie.
Hi, I'm Paul, and we are
SP Film Viewers.
Hello there.
Hello? It's not your normal accent.
Well, no, obviously.
Were you going for Scottish?
More Irish.
Alright.
I know you can't tell the difference anyway.
I can't. I'm so sorry. I can't tell the difference to the Scots or the Irish. They just sound funny.
Both Celts, but to you, they're
Just a lot of
the one the
gibberish.
you can't say that. What way is it gibberish?
I don't know. It really, when I hear it, it doesn't enter through my ears as like anything I can comprehend sometimes. Like if they're talking really fast. Really hypocritical of me because probably people are thinking the same about me.
Yeah, they won't have that problem with me though, will they?
No, you're like a sloth.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Or they just can't hear what I say, yeah.
Sometimes when I talk really fast, and I know I do, then when you're talking, I wish I could like just, on a podcast, times your speed.
Ours, yeah.
Times it by twice for you. Yeah.
Well, the reason I'm pointing or attempting to put on an Irish accent is because the film we're going to be covering this time, for the one that we've both not seen before.
Yeah.
And it's by an Irish animation studio called Cartoon Saloon.
Never heard of him.
But you have, if you remember vaguely, a while ago, there was a film, a long while ago actually. If you remember a film called Song of the Sea, which is about like a little girl.
Oh, the rip-off of Ponyo.
I wouldn't say it was a rip-off because I think
It's
there's more.
pretty much the same
There's
story.
more folklore in that because of the seals, the silkies as they're called in Irish stories and stuff. There's I think a bit more mythology to it than
I didn't know
than
this.
Ponyo, which is essentially like an adaptation of Little Mermaid.
Well, they're all adaptations of Little Mermaid, aren't they?
Somewhat, I think there was a lot more going on in.
I did enjoy that though. To be fair, I really did.
That was a really beautiful animation. I really like that one. Other film before that was called Secret of Kells. That's more like that was like their first outing, and that was I didn't feel as strongly to that as Song of the Sea. Visually, I think obviously it was a step up from what that was. And that was to do with I believe it was to do with like a young monk who finds like a fairy in the forest. A monk.
Oh,
not a monkey. No.
In a monkey and a fairy.
Like in a monastery type of thing,
right.
like the olden times. Yeah, no, maybe much of it is a monkey, I suppose. But
well, you did say a forest. That is kind of.
I think that's what happened. I obviously haven't seen it in a long time, but so I'm quite intrigued and so excited to see the opportunity to actually watch this because for the longest time it's only been available on like Apple TV, which is like another paid service. I don't really need to be buying another.
We don't do anything Apple.
Just for that, no. So
can I look at the box?
Yeah, so what I got is like this what's called Cartoon Saloon's Irish Folklore Trilogy, which I've bought, and there'll be obviously a little Instagram Twitter post of the artwork. It's a really nice box actually.
It is.
So this is I think to my knowledge, this is the only way you can get like a physical copy of the film. So
it's got the little rip-off Ponyo on there, and one that looks like a rip-off Brave.
That's the one we're watching.
Wolfwalkers,
is it? So we'll see if it is a rip-off or not. But I will read you the synopsis.
Is it Brave?
On Google.
Is there 3 bears?
No, this is wolves.
3 wolves. Instead of bears.
But you mean baby wolves? That are brothers that are kind of wolves, I don't know. So all we've got to go on is what I'll read to you. Robin, a young girl, follows her father to Kilkenny. That's a place, not...
I know.
Just in case you're like, what?
God, you don't. You just think I'm thick, don't you?
Well, you thought when it said monkey it was monkey.
No, I really thought you said monkey.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Because speak up.
Yeah. So she follows her father to kill Kenny on an assignment to hunt the last wolf pack. However, she befriends a girl from a mysterious tribe and learns their secret.
So is the girl a wolf that she meets?
I've got a feeling from what I've seen in the imagery of it, it's kind of like almost like a Tarzan type thing where she's kind of raised by wolves or something.
Oh, so it's a rip-off of Brave and Tarzan. But Brave's
I think you're
Scottish.
not giving this.
I know. I'm
too
really
little
looking
credit. Really,
I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
I really am.
I am.
I really like 2D animation, as you know, and this is.
I think to be fair, it probably will have ideas, and it will be probably a bit Brave-ish, and it will be Tarzan-ish, from what you're saying. Storylines, but it'll be an adaptation, which will be beautiful, anyways. I'm excited. How long is the film?
The film is about 1:43, so it's quite a hefty one, not like a normal.
I can cope with that though. That's good.
But now I'm really looking forward to seeing this one. I've wanted to see it for a while, so I got the chance, and to talk about it as well, no less.
Oh, it's better than Sexy Beast, that's for sure.
That was I really enjoyed watching that one again.
Is that because my face was disgruntled at the opening, and I was like,
yeah, I guess
not impressed.
Yeah,
you really enjoy me not being happy, don't you?
Yeah. But I thought I'd throw you in better on this one.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we will be back in due course after we've watched the film and let you know our thoughts. So see you in a bit.
Stop being so annoying. Oh, let me down.
All right, Tony.
No, wait. Ah! Oh. Oh. Stop calling me Townie.
All right, Robin. Back home with you. Fun's over.
Well, Maeve, Ugga Makatimere, your idea.
What?
The man.
I'll get rid of him.
The man. Oh no, Father.
What was the first thing you said, Sophie, when the first frame of animation came up on the screen?
It's stunning.
Yeah, you kind of went, oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, like, oh, it's beautiful.
I don't even remember what I said. That's really bad, isn't it? It is beautiful, though. It's really, really pretty.
I knew it was going to be really special in terms of like what visually it had to offer, but my God, it was something I kind of like almost not seen before in terms of visuals. It just like it's like a painting almost, which essentially that is what it is really.
It felt really magical though,
Mm-hmm.
like the entire scene with the opening. Like you saw a squirrel, a bunny, and it's just little birdies, all the wildlife, and it kind of showed you nature at its best, but in a really picturesque way.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously it kind of shows what humans do to that.
Yeah, evil man, yeah.
Yeah.
It's normal, yeah.
It makes me hate being a human a little bit.
I get what you mean, yeah. There's the crux of the story, like most stories that you might expect for this, is like, oh, man is evil and, you know, they're destroying the environment and that kind of stuff. You know, the beauty of nature is getting out of balance because of the takeover of the industrial or, you know, like just building on our land type of thing. But
you have to think, really, it does make me feel a bit guilty. The thought that where we live now probably was a field or it had trees or something like that. And you think, you've actually taken somebody's home away, like an animal's.
Yeah, to a degree. But what we have in overlooking our house anyway is a big open field anyway, so it's not completely.
No, it is quite. We're
and
quite lucky. We do get
what's it called, a green belt, isn't it? Where they can't do anything with it. That's farmers' land, and that's just going to be that forever, really.
Yeah, which I loved bits.
Yeah,
get loads of lovely birds. So it did feel like when we were watching it, the opening scene, like what we have had a bunny rabbit in his garden, got Sheila the squirrel.
Yeah, you've nicknamed them.
Nicknamed, and then we've got birdies got loads of different bird names.
Yeah.
But
We've had foxes as well, or heard.
heard foxes. Well,
Yeah.
I've seen a fox in our garden.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a wolf though.
No. I'd be a bit worried if a wolf came into the garden, to be honest.
I'd be thinking, oh, George. We've got a little Jack Russell called George, very overweight, who looks like a bit more like a corgi,
Yeah.
as your boss did say.
Yeah.
So I'd be a bit frightened that this wolf would just take George off. George would not stand a chance. Also, it makes me just be grateful for little nature spots like what we've got.
Yeah. Slice of
Heaven.
the countryside, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. This film is set in the 17th century, I think, going on. 1650.
I could not live with that. Unless I was like a rich person, I would not be down with that, with like, oh, the ruler says, and if you don't do as I say, you're going to die.
No, there's always going to be... You might think, oh, I'd love to live in the 1920s when it was all ritz and glam, but obviously if you're not a higher class, you're going to be in the slums, aren't you, and suffering, so...
Kind of reminds me of that Bob's Burger scene that we watched the other week, where they were going to like equivalent of what was like our Downton Abbey.
Yeah, yeah.
And Linda
Yeah.
was obsessed with the programme and wanted to go and enjoy the glitz and the glam, I guess.
Yeah.
And she got put as a maid.
Yeah.
And she was fuming. But you need people like that, I guess, as well in life, but...
Yeah, someone's got to do the dirty work, haven't they? Yeah.
Sadly, yeah. But you just feel sorry for them, don't you?
So what I found kind of interesting from the offset is the way, or fairly quickly, of when you kind of like the contrast between the forest and the built-up area with the buildings and everything.
Yeah, over the town.
Yeah. That's all kind of like straight-lined ruler, and you kind of see that a lot more once you get into depth of the story and everything as the story progresses and stuff. Everything is all straight and rigid and everything.
It's like you're kind of trapped.
Yeah, you've got to form one line and it's all through and everything like that. And so the characters kind of reflect that in the way they're kind of like rectangular or
drawn, yeah.
That.
So like we've got our main lady, Robin, who is like her nose is a lot more pointy. Everything about her is more straight
slim
cut.
And, yeah.
And then obviously we've got, what's her name?
Yeah, so I thought when I was listening through, it was Maeve.
I thought it was May, so...
But when the credits rolled around, and it's MEBH is the way you spell it, which Mabe, I don't know. That's
what are we calling it in this?
Mabe.
Mabe.
It's how you're supposed to try and remember to say that. But yeah, so and with her characters more rounded and free flowing, and so is the forest area, which is all
like circular and twined
arches and stuff, which is it's like obviously showing the contrast of how thing, and obviously that's what the animators were clearly wanting to do, to show like the difference between the two worlds almost, because in the way that the forest, obviously if the forest was straight as well, it would look a bit very typical, like, oh, this is just a forest, but because of the way the trees are all bent and contorted and everything, it kind of makes it even more like magical and otherworldly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And everything about the forest is so vivid with greens and it's
browns
lush
and oranges, and everything just looks like you just want to live there. Yeah.
And then the city is just like you grab colours, which is just not where you want to be. I do feel sorry for our main lead, Robin. Yeah. Initially we didn't clock that she was British.
I assuming going in this that like all the other films all the other films, the two previous films they've done where the cast is predominantly Irish. I think certainly in what I remember in Song of the Sea was that everyone was Irish. I remember that more than Secret of Kells. But in this, they're kind of like English invaders in a sense. We've got Sean Bean as the father of her, which kind of like surprised me when I saw his credits at the start. It was like, what? He's in it? It's like, oh, he's the dad. You can just tell he's got that kind of
demeanour,
warm Yorkshire voice type of thing going on. It's like, Ned Stark, essentially.
Also, I was just thinking, is he going to die in this?
Yeah.
All the way through, I was like, is that going to happen?
Yeah, something going on with that. I hope not.
But no, it's a nice contrast from the Irish as well. It kind of you can hear the British
Yeah.
more, which is weird to say we are British.
Mm-hmm.
You could hear that kind of shine out of the film because they were the only two kind of British accents.
Aside from the ambiguous Lord Protector character who was, and I guess the other British soldiers and stuff who were in the ranks and stuff, in the guarding the gates and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, they're kind of taking over this town in Kilkenny. Yeah, and he's obviously the big bad and everything, obviously, and want to control.
I still don't get his aim in all of this, but we'll come to him later on in the storyline.
Yeah.
But I still don't. I've got a couple of questions on that one. So basically, Robin and her dad have moved to Ireland.
Yeah.
And Robin has lost her mum at a youngish age, and her dad's like number one priority is to look after her and make sure she's safe.
Yeah, the normal father protecting his daughter type of cliche.
But just a bit too OTT to not let her have any freedom. So to the point where she feels trapped and encaged in the town.
Yeah. So again, almost like trapped in a zoo or an animal, really. An animal in the cage. She's got no freedom, but she's got a little companion, Merlin, which you kind of said, because there's a type of like hawk.
Bird of prey,
Bird of prey that's called a Merlin. So I thought that can't be too on the nose, but you call him Merlin the Merlin.
I was like, it must be. It's definitely a Merlin. And I googled it, and it did look a bit like a Merlin.
Yeah. But I think it was referred to as a falcon. So yeah, I think that would have been a bit daft. But I mean, to be honest, I assumed because you name bird names in the garden, I thought you were just calling him Merlin just because he was like magical or something. I didn't actually. There was actually a bird called.
You're like Merlin the Wizard or something.
A bird called the Merlin.
There is.
But
Google
there is,
it.
So.
There is, and there's also like a sparrowhawk, which I've found loads of things out by living here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm a bit of a Robin, which wants to be out in the country a little bit more. And I think I really enjoy the wildlife side of things. I'm not really a townie. I don't really like town, to be fair.
Too industrial.
Yeah. Too many
noisy.
people.
Yeah.
Animals don't upset you. Like, I think this is the gist of the actual story. So the wolves, they're like, oh, the wolves are wanting to attack us. And, well, to be fair, you are ruining their forest.
Yeah.
You're cutting down their trees. You're making them lose their home. Like, if somebody came and hacked your house down, would you be best impressed? Would you be like, oh, okay, that's fine. I'll just have to go find a new one? There
was some other imagery as well with I think during the opening credits, like, you see some of the animals in the forest, and like the deer and stuff and other birds and stuff, like looking at trees like, oh, what's going on here?
I used to live there, and now it's all chopped down. Which
kind of reminded me of, do you remember a BBC animation years and years ago called Animals of Farthing Wood?
It sounded familiar.
Whereas like, like all typical woodland animals, like a badger and a fox. And like voles and stuff like that. They were in, I think it was like a nod to like, oh, how people in the environment are like taking over the land type of story thing. I think it was kind of a little bit dark.
Yeah.
If I recall, I didn't like see through the whole series, but I knew of it from just it being on TV and stuff. So I didn't.
It makes me quite sad, that does, really, when I saw that scene, because it's like, it's quite heartbreaking to really actually know it's true.
Yeah.
You know, it's touching a little bit of a nerve of where that is what happens. Sadly, we do come in as humans and do ruin nature, thinking we're improving it for the better for us, but not thinking of the impact of the wildlife. So, going on to the way that the wolves are, we kind of get a glimmer of these wolves, and they look a little bit like the movement of them in the animation.
Like snakes, or?
Yeah, or a bit like a rat. I was thinking like scurry.
Yeah. Again, the sleekness of them to almost like make them like spiritual almost in a way, when they move like a ghost.
Yeah.
Or something of that nature, kind of like just passing through the forest, like mythical. Yeah,
I think the reason why I'm thinking more rat-like is because like they're in a herd.
Yeah, like all swarm together, almost collectively in a group, Well, you have wolf packs.
You do.
So, so that makes sense, really.
I just think it's really, really, really pretty the way it is done, and the way that they've drawn Maya.
Mabe.
Mabe.
Yeah.
Jesus, this is going to be
Yeah.
hard.
And I don't know if you noticed on that, and especially with a lot of the style that they're going on with, there's kind of almost remnants of like the sketch lines, particularly on the wolves and Maeve and everything. Like with that, there's kind of like obviously you got the main outline of the character and stuff like and coloured in and all that stuff, but there's always faint like almost sketch out like where they've rubbed out someone's rubbed out with a pencil almost on like or that didn't quite work for that curve or whatever. And they've included it in, which is kind of like almost like behind the scenes without being like too like here's how we did everything and like going like a comparison. It's almost like keeping a note of knowledge of how we've got from the initial concept to a fully developed coloured in characters. I think it's quite a nice touch. I've never quite seen that before, but it works in its favour. It's to its merit. Yeah,
everything's just so stunningly beautiful in it. It's amazing. Also, I know like how they do the shading. Like Mabe has got kind of like muckyish brownish legs, like
and on the nose and stuff. Yeah.
It looks like they've kind of just done a pencil mark and like smudged it.
Yeah.
To make her look like that.
It's really good. Yeah.
And just fine little details in the way that they've drawn like just the highlights in her hair, and her hair is just beautiful. And even on her mum. Oh, Mammy.
Yeah.
I love it when she says Mammy.
Yeah. It's really cute. Yeah.
It's so adorable. Like, I'm definitely would 100% want to be a Wolfwalker. Like, that's me now. I would do that.
Yeah. Well, Robin, obviously, that's where the story's going, really. She becomes one, and I think it accidentally, Mabe bites her when she gets caught in a trap or something, and it's like, ow. And it's done in a way, it's not like, ow, I'm bleeding, or bleeding out like in a normal werewolf film where the person is ravaged and limbs torn off or anything like that. And it's the thing. So it's done like, just a bite that's not really of too consequence, and then it's kind of like, you can start to see how wolves see kind of thing. This, I think it's coined maybe wolf vision, I think is what I read from the little note book I got with the Blu-ray pack that I got.
Like Spidey vision.
Spidey sense, yeah. Which they went on to describing the how the scenes were done in that, which was like a pre-visualized first-person view with digital sequences, hand-drawn frame by frame with charcoal and pencil, and those are the standout scenes for me. Really, it's like the way that those are done, and there's so much effort put into those. Let's say frame by frame, those lines and everything, just to make it like flow and thing. I don't even know how we would even approach that.
Can I ask a naive question?
Yeah.
If they're hand drawn, is it like a flip book kind of thing?
Yeah, almost. Yeah. To that sense, yeah. So your papers are just.
And then flip to make it move. So it's like kind of anime-ish. Like in Japan, they do that a lot, like with the Ghiblis and such. It's hand drawn. Oh, they used to.
Yeah, used to do it with Disney and stuff. Yeah, so it's a lost art. This is why I always prefer 2D animation to 3D. I've said this before, probably. I'm sure.
Because I was just assuming it was hand drawn on a computer, like literally just supervised detail.
I think part of it, some shots were probably done that way just to save time. Probably more for the main characters and stuff and stuff, but there's probably stuff in the backgrounds and stuff. It's a lot easier, like in Ghibli, to do that. It's kind of like pre-composed images, but it's obviously with moving elements.
You've got to draw it all again.
Yeah, or if you can work it in so that the character is digitally but has the same visual style to it, then it will work, and you wouldn't even know the difference, really, essentially.
You also mentioned to me, which I don't think I'd have noticed, because you've got that kind of animation / graphic head on you. Sometimes I just take it and think, wow, that is absolutely stunning and just so special, and I can't pinpoint it as well as you do. And I don't think I would have noticed it, where you was on about, there was a scene where the backgrounds were like sketches of people. They weren't even looking like the sketches were fully completed. Yeah,
to show that almost like level of depth in the far distance, and they were kind of just like almost like cut out pieces just moving along in the background. It was kind of, again, something not seen before, but it kind of worked to the style of what the film had, because it
also gave depth to the like characters in the front. It made them pop out.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like blurred a little bit more, it felt, in
Yeah,
the background.
exactly. That's not the focus. You've got all the stuff that's going on in
I
front.
didn't even notice the background until you said it. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. But in terms of the way some of the perspective shots were done as well, there's almost like, not quite, when you've got a grid shape and it's something's in like a game or something, it's like I don't know how to describe it really, 45-degree angle square, and the character can only move in a straight line, but in a diagonal grid section. It was almost kind of like that, because I could think of like when Robin, for example, was in the hall where where there's like a mysterious cage and stuff, and all this stuff going on, and it was almost like she was in a normal perspective type of way, like she was flat, but in the right way, whereas the background was in like a bird's eye view or something.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
also
like,
captured that in the castle when they were going up the stairs, where she looked like she was like vertical, and the stairs looked like they were the right way around, but she was looking like she was climbing them upside down. Yeah,
it was odd, but I don't know, odd choice, but it kind of like, that's, it makes you think like, that's not the right perspective, but I don't know why that was done.
I quite liked it though,
it
because
kicked your interest, because it's like, rather than just a bland scene where you're thinking, your brain's like, that doesn't look right, but
how are they going up those stairs?
Yeah.
But it added the value to it, because but it, to be fair, the storyline was really good as well.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
It's not like they needed to do all this in the background to kind of hold a basic story to keep your interest. It wasn't that at all. The story actually added up 100%. I did have one question, and then how like Robin became a Wolfwalker. Like I was like, that's not being explained. And then later on, they did explain it, obviously because of the bite. That's how it happens.
Oh, you mean because she heals the bite. She's got with the Wolfwalker, you get the power to heal wounds and stuff. That's established, but she didn't do a good enough job to fully get. I guess it was in her blood or whatever, gone too far in, or left it too long.
I think Robin was being a bit insistent of like, get off me. So it might have been that as well, to be fair.
I don't know.
So it kind of does have that fluidity of a storyline where you know what's happening when it's happening. It's not fully predictable. There is a little bit of...
Yeah, you might be thinking, oh, well, I know this is going, there's going to be you're expecting she's going to turn into a wolf, the father's going to be, mistaking her for, is a wolf in the room, and it's like, no, Dad, it's me, type of thing. But
I didn't think Robin was going to turn into a wolf, so that really did surprise me. I just thought they were going to...
Yeah, you just thought she was alongside her for the ride, type of thing, and just bonding over like a
friendship
outcast story. It's like, I'm bonding with this person. It's like, you're not allowed to see that person, type of
But I really enjoyed the way it actually all panned out, and there's some lovely characters within it. Like, Robin is a lovely kind of character, but she's more down to earth, I think, and she's a bit older, and you can tell she wants to do right by everybody, and she's finding it hard to please her dad and Mabe, as well as trying to not get her dad into trouble. And then Mabe, she's just absolutely adorable. Just, I would want a child like that.
Really?
Yeah. Just like
wild
a
and
little character. Just free.
Yeah, I like the what she refers to as town tasties.
Which is bread.
Yeah, or just food from the town, I think, really. Which is that's a nice way of putting something that she doesn't really understand. Just like, it's from the town, and I enjoy eating it, so
it's tasty.
Yeah.
And calling Robin a townie. Yeah.
There's little quirks are really nice.
She's got more personality, I think, within her. She's just like a bundle of joy kind of personality, and quite fierce and ferocious, and a hair kind of
reflects that as well. And she got the teeth as well that kind of like vicious too. So you can totally believe that she's part of this world that she kind of thrives in the forest and everything. You can believe that she's part of the wolf pack.
Yeah, and bless her, at the moment her mammy is not there, so she's been it's like an out of body experience, isn't it?
Once you go to sleep, you're a wolf, but when you're awake, you're back in your human form.
Can I ask a daft question? There was one flaw I had. How come her mum was obviously encaged in the end by Lord Farquaad or whatever his name is?
Lord Protector, yeah.
And
well, he's kind of a yeah.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
So encaged in the
almost like a King Kong
palace
type of thing. Yeah, he's like, oh, this beast is not, it can be tamed and everything, all chained up and everything.
But okay, got one flaw maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. So the mum was asleep, and I understand that I get it. Never mind. I've answered my question.
Okay, go. You may as well.
So the spirit normally kind of goes back. So the spirit's in the wolf on the night.
Yes.
And the body kind of is left absent.
Yes.
That's how I'm viewing it. And then I'm thinking, well, how come she can't just become a wolf spirit and go back into her own body?
Yeah.
And free herself that way?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it looked like when Robin was struggling to get back into her body, she has to touch her body.
Yeah, it's that connection. It's almost like a unlock the door to get back into the house type of thing.
Yes.
Sort of
so I was thinking, how come she can't just travel out of the cage? Into her body. They covered that. Yeah, in a good way. It's because you might be thinking, hang on, why don't you just disappear, whatever. So with the king, I feel like he's wanting to make. I don't know if he's good or bad. I really don't know.
The king.
Lord, whatever his name is.
Right, yeah.
Because he's got the beast. He's got, obviously, May's mammy.
Yeah.
And he's saying, I can tame it. Don't worry, we've got it under control and everything like that. Is he then wanting the town to accept the wolves?
I think, and he's just meaning to tame them. It's like, right, you don't have to fear the wolves because the Irish are very much superstitious on the whole scenario. Like, you're destroying our land, the wolves going to come and attack us, and they have been doing because you've been destroying their forest where their home is.
Also because
so it's like
you've captured them.
Therefore, there's no worry. You don't have to worry anymore. We're taking care of things. We can carry on building on your land, basically.
But I don't get it, because it's like, well, what's his purpose of taking the mum and saying I can tame her? Why can't you just tame the rest of the wolves and then they'll be all right then? If they can tame him, why kill him?
Yeah, but you can't tame him. That's the thing. He's just trying to show a feat of look what I've got here.
Because I was thinking, was he trying to do good by that?
No, definitely not. He's not doing. You can tell from his ambiguous name title and just his, his on his high horse and stuff and everything.
Literally. I just think with May, with that scenario, it's like if she hadn't have come blazing in, going, "I'm a Wolfwalker, I'm going to get my wolves on you."
Yeah.
Would that have escalated, or would it have been like the town were like, "Oh, okay, he's got it sorted. We don't have to go and burn the forest tonight." That's what I'm wondering. Would that?
Yeah, I think they would have done. I think
they
would have done. They'd be like, "Yeah, okay, we believe you because
you've tamed that one. We can kill him." But why would you? I don't know. My head would be okay if you can tame it. Let's tame the rest of him, and we can live harmoniously among one another.
Yeah. But at that point, when Mabe comes in and goes on about, that's my mum in there and everything, and
no, you
kind of like making
you didn't say it right. That's my mammy.
That's my mammy. And at that point, it's almost like it's made a mockery of the situation because they're like laughing, like, "Oh, that's ridiculous," type of thing, and so that's kind of weakening his standpoint at that,
which makes him more het up and angry
and stuff. So and it's just at that point as well. Obviously, the father's been a bit like, doesn't believe what Robin's been saying about it again.
He's an arsewife as well. I love him, but I don't at the same time because I understand.
But again, that's understandable to a story point thing. It's like, it's frustrating. It's like, what's going to happen. He's going to be like, I see what you meant, Robin, at the end of it, type of thing. But
because he's not a bad person,
no.
It's just
he's very humble,
feeling like he's having to do what somebody else is telling him to do.
Yeah,
instead of
out of fear of stuff. He seems very much worried that if he doesn't do what he's told, then
he'll lose Robin
and that'll be it. Yeah, and then he can't live with himself, type of thing.
Yeah.
Overall, the animation studio was based in Ireland, and I think the people involved were probably from Kilkenny and based in there. Obviously, for most animations, you kind of look at it and be like, oh, yeah, they're just doing that, rolling it out or whatever, and there's no heart into it. But I feel like because they've got the connection to where the studio is based and everything,
Yeah, and the area that they've got.
they know what they're talking about, and the history and stuff, and there's so much love put into this.
Yeah,
for all aspects.
it was
Really
so enjoyable
cool.
to watch, and I actually think this was more my favourite compared to the what do I call it? Rip-off Ponyo.
Song of the Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can get that. Yeah, I think overall, I mean, it has been a while since I've seen that one. I kind of vaguely remember it, but I remember the girl being quite cute in that as well, the little girl. But this one is kind of like they've definitely exceeded themselves in this one, and I remember there'd been a lot more hype around this one anyway. Initially, I think.
I think as well, Mabe, for me, is like a lead character, and she's so strong, even though she's so little, she will stick with me. Whereas with Song of the Sea, I remember her being cute, but I don't remember her as being as much of a character. Yeah,
and that was more in modern-ish times anyway, really. It was just a bit more of a magical element to it. But yeah, it was kind of not like set in like an ye old times type of thing. So there's always that element to when you go like back to the past, and it's like, oh, it's all mysterious. What was it actually like back then? And there's kind of an element of that to it, which again works in its favour. I think Secret of Kells was a similar kind of thing anyway, like in the old.
Seen that, have I?
No.
I was going to say.
No. But no, in terms of what they have to offer in animation style, they've blown it out of the water. Really, I'm really impressed with what I watched, and I'd happily watch it again, like tomorrow night. Yeah, no problem, and it being like just as enjoyable. Yeah, because I'd say like for first watch, and like I knew I was gonna like it, but I didn't think it was gonna actually like be like, wow, this is phenomenal, really. And I know obviously didn't do a great deal of actual technical research into stuff on the basis like how they did some of the art style and stuff, but there's a disc with the box that I got with the Blu-ray and everything, and I'm quite excited to like look through that obviously in my own time and see like if there's any more information and gleam out of the situation, because the great studio.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things where you compare it nowadays to like a Disney, and this captures what a Disney would have been like for us as a little child.
Yes, definitely.
If that makes sense. And I would definitely want, if we ever have a child, I would put this on and let them watch it, and I'd want to see the faces light up on the first scene, because just I felt like an inner child when I was watching it. I was like, it's like Bambi, literally, it feels at the beginning, without the shooting of the deer. Yeah.
Which you don't even see, so...
that made me cry. Yeah. I remember.
Honestly, I don't... With people saying it's like, you don't... I know it's kind of implied, and
it's the deer's... It's Bambi's eyes, I think. Maybe we need to watch it.
I think you people are remembering it wrong, because I certainly remember it being like... I was kind of like, oh... I know we're going off topic here, but...
I should have brought it up.
Yeah. The fact that it's like, oh, Mum, we made it back to the home or whatever, and it's like, Mum, but then it's like moves on pretty swiftly, and like another deer comes along, it's like, your Mum's not coming back, and then they just walk off, and then that's it. Like, move on, next scene. And there's no like, and like not like in Lion King with Mufasa and stuff.
Speaking of Lion King,
oh yeah,
I had a moment where obviously Robin's dad has been bit as well by May's mama. Yeah, because you don't really have a name for her, does she? Really?
I think she does, but I couldn't remember what that was actually.
Mammy. That's literally.
Just call her Mammy.
Yeah. And he's like kind of seeing the outlines and the spirit kind of. Yeah. He's thinking, what? This is new. I don't understand. And then he does. The only time he gets into being in his wolf form is when he sees Robin going to be getting hurt, and he gets het up and angry.
Yeah.
And then he turns into his wolf. And he's like a darker grey kind of.
He was like a brown one.
Big mane.
Yeah, Robin was like a grey wolf. And she said like she was quite pretty as a wolf.
She was quite pretty as a wolf. I think he was a dark grey.
You sure?
Yeah.
I thought it was a brown.
No, that was Maeve's.
No, he was like I'm sure he was like a grey-brown colour.
It was like a dark grey.
I'm doing a quick Google. I'd say that's brown.
I'd
Going
say
on
that's
grey. Okay, maybe. Yeah,
It's like-
I'd still say that was brown, but
Making him look
Yeah,
more
yeah.
grey, dark
Yeah, yeah,
grey.
yeah.
'Cause, like,
which again you could have. It's good. Like it'd be a bit weird if he was because he's blonde haired like Robin is. And it'd be weird if he was a blonde wolf.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no. So again, so make him more like menacing and powerful. Yeah.
And then obviously Lord, whatever his name, having that fight out, and I did think this was quite clever actually. So the Lord kind of scars him on his face above his eyebrow, kind of reminded me of Scar a little bit from The Lion King.
Yeah.
But also it flashes back then to her dad's actual physical body.
Yeah. So it's like you get hurt as a wolf. You get hurt as a person. It's like you die in your dream, you die in real life type of.
And he's bleeding on
Yeah.
there, but he did look a bit Scar-like.
Yeah.
And there even was, once I'd said that, then there was even a moment of where they were at a cliff stage, and obviously he was like, got the Lord, and he was like near enough going to fling him off. And was he going to bite him? Maybe.
No, he had bitten him and
bitten him.
And this Lord Protector guy was like he'd rather basically kill himself, fall off the cliff than succumb to like he was also like almost like religious to the extreme when he's like it's just it's against God and almost like this whole foul creatures almost like
he must have known the Wolfwalkers were real then.
Yeah, he just want to admit the scenario, living in denial and stuff. So he kind of chucks himself off into this like pointy rock ravine type of thing, rather than being converted into what he might seem as demonic. Yeah. So he's like, good riddance to you.
Yeah. And then it's just a happy ever ending after that, isn't it?
So there's that, the sisterly bond that they've got going on with Robin and Mabe. And then they kind of like become a family at the very end, which is quite nice. Yeah.
It's lovely. And then they've got the wolf pack as well.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little ending. Yeah. And they're free to go wherever they want. And they can eat whatever they want and they don't need to have a job. Sounds amazing to me.
Live off the land. Yeah. So that was Wolfwalkers, and very impressed with what I saw.
I loved it. I feel like it's been the best one so far of the year. No name of Gary was involved.
Yeah, no Garys.
That's good. And there was just lovely animation.
Yeah, top notch. I look forward to whenever they roll out another one.
I feel like that was like when I first watched Studio Ghibli. It gave me that kind of feel.
Yeah, I feel like this studio is now going to be like heralded as one of like those household names. Obviously Disney was the beginning, and then it was Pixar, then it was slowly, but surely it was Ghibli.
Yeah.
Being introduced into over here, and then now Cartoon Saloon. Yeah, which is a cool name anyway.
Yeah, and I do think, to be fair, they've kind of now got the new edge, because even Ghibli have sadly.
Yes, definitely. That's another thing as well. And Disney is now more let's churn out more 3D stuff than because it's easier. And it can look visually stunning. Don't get me wrong. Like that. What's it called? Encanto.
Is that the new Disney one?
Yeah. What was it in like South American? You know what I mean? Like Puerto Rican type of. I don't know if that's the correct reference to the culture, but and that one wasn't visually stunning, but I wasn't impressed with the story in that one. That was
it was rubbish
and too much. Yeah,
I think they were trying to do Coco, but it just didn't work.
Really didn't.
And I think they just wanted to bash it out instead of actually put heart and soul into it.
Which I think sadly is what Pixar are struggling with as well, because I feel like that's almost like once like 2 every year type of thing. That's like just going out quick, go on, get on Disney Plus and everything now and everything. It's just
more money grabbing than it is actually enjoying doing the work.
Less is more in terms of like you put obviously I know animation takes a long time anyway, but putting the care and effort into something that's 2D and looks visually as stunning as this in 2D, then you're going to win me over certainly in terms of what the content you're putting out. So.
No, I agree completely. And I think sadly Ghibli, just because he's getting a little bit older now, is not being able to hand draw that's like a bittersweet scenario.
Yeah.
And Earwig, we didn't even finish it
No,
because we just didn't like what it looked like.
Just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3D just does
She
not work.
had a bit of a big head compared to her body as well. That seemed a bit bizarre. So it didn't look in proportion.
Yeah. Right, I think we will go to the scoring then.
You go
me
first. Yes, because
yes.
you haven't seen it as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Which I actually am enjoying more than ones we both are watching together.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's an easy 10.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking more of when we're recording this is like the day after. It's kind of like, you know, sleep on it and think over it. But it's like just the more I think about it, the more I think like, yeah, this is so amazing. Like what the film has to offer, and there's rewatchability, which I know is so I didn't do the Apple TV Plus whatever because I know like watching one, but I want to watch it again, but I don't want to pay the subscription or whatever, or you know, like things. There's no something to keep and rewatch over and over. I think there's value to that, and for the visuals alone, it's so creative and just stunning, and it's a great storyline, everything. It's everything you really need, and the you know, big props to the studio for making it, and they've exceeded themselves.
No,
So,
bless
yeah,
you.
yeah.
A 10 on the third week. No, actually, yeah, our week 3.
Yeah. So I think on like reflection with the basis of obviously Licorice Pizza was 9.5. I think the 0.5 was really just because of the cinema experience, to be fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'd say yeah, this is an easy 10. No problem.
I wonder if I agree with you. I think it's going to be... I can see Paul's face, so I just want to eke out, but it's not. It's a 10.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
It's no brainer.
Yeah.
Maeve or Maeve or whatever her name is. Oh, I love her to bits. I just wish I could get a name right.
Mhm.
Absolutely adore her. And characters, everybody has got really good character content, which, you know, wins me over.
Yeah.
Then an animation style that is absolutely stunning and beautiful, and you just wish life looked like that.
Yeah.
And there was such things as Wolfwalkers. It's just so magical. It makes you feel like you're a child again. It just really brings you back
Definitely,
to that point.
Yeah.
And I'd suggest anybody who have children, it's a bit scary, but it's not
Yeah,
scary,
like mild
scary.
peril, as they
Reminds
would
me
say.
of like Pocahontas or something like that,
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
say.
yeah. There's no real bloodshed, violence, or anything like
No.
that. So it's obviously
Some
like,
guns and
things like that. It's like a bit of injury, but nothing like, oh my god, that guy's bleeding or anything
no,
like
it's
that.
not like
yeah.
big pool of blood.
Yeah. So if people do want to check it out, then I'd obviously the best, other than buying the box set, is I think you can probably get a subscription, even like a 7-day trial or something on Apple TV Plus, I think, and watch it that way if you want to just experience it, because we do highly recommend this one.
Yeah, it's beautiful,
Yeah.
especially if you've got children, and the artwork of it, it's just stunning. It's really
Yeah,
magical.
Yeah.
I want to be a wolf walker now.
Just maybe be a fox walker. If
A fox
you can get
walker,
a
yeah.
fox to bite you.
That's the
instead.
closest I'm going to get, isn't it? But they make a horrible noise at night.
Oh god, don't they just?
I think it's screaming murder.
We know what the fox says.
Yeah, we do. It's not ding, 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 ding.
It's
on
not.
a-
Yeah, it's not
or whatever
pretty.
it is.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for listening to this episode, and if you enjoy our content and want to hear more from us, you can check out our previous episodes over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Good Pods, Podchaser, and pretty much anywhere else you get your podcasts from. And of course, if you want to keep in contact with us in what we do and on the socials, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter under the handle SP_filmviewers.
Yep. So definitely go and listen to our 103, is it now?
Yeah.
That we've got
Yeah.
episodes. You don't have to listen to them all, but there's definitely something that
We like you if you did, but you know.
there's something for everyone, isn't there, within there?
Yeah.
Just a big thank you again to Paul for all his hard work with editing, making the clips on Instagram, everything you do.
Yeah. Hope everyone's liking the new format also.
I am.
Yeah.
But if you're not, please let us know. But I don't know. I'd be really hard pressed, I think, to change it, because it's given us... We would have never seen this one unless
Yeah, well, we would have done.
Eventually.
But, yeah, but I feel like it was worth talking about. This is why...
And I think it's given you more passion to talk about film because
Exactly.
you're not rewatching things as much. You're getting to have a first-hand new experience.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Which...
Again, is a very, very fresh take on things, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Really enjoying it. I think out of the two that we've seen, that we both haven't seen together, I preferred those out of the one that you've seen.
I don't know what that says about my picks, but...
Well, you've picked all of them, to be fair, but...
No, I know, but you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I think this is really good. But what I'm trying to get from some of them is like a sort of like a reaction as to like how you might think of films. Not just like just to completely enjoy, but obviously it's like something very much out of your comfort zone.
To torture you, yeah.
Perhaps, yeah.
So
in some
I get
cases.
tortured less now. So if people are
that's-
wanting to be kind, we can keep us
Yeah.
new
It's only
format.
recommendations and stuff is welcomed as well. So if you want to
Yeah.
get in touch, yeah, please do. I haven't got anything lined up as yet for what the next one will be.
So if anyone does want to recommend a film I haven't seen,
got the list, of course, but
then you
Yeah.
can by all means. You know, we'll probably add it to the list, and Paul will be like,
Yeah,
we'll
that's a
put
good
it in
one.
at
Yeah,
some point.
yeah.
Yeah. Any comments, lovely messages, or reviews, we always appreciate.
yes,
all of
5-star
those.
reviews on Apple Podcasts and Podchaser, other places to do that, I think. So for the time being, that'll be that. Really recommend this film.
Really
Absolutely.
enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. So thank you for letting us watch it.
You're welcome. That being said, stay safe, everyone. Thank you for listening, and we will speak to you next time.
Speak to you next time.
Oh.
That was quite cute. Bye.
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 Bye.